How's it going, everyone? It is day 9 and we are back on the grind again. As per usual, got a workout in. I actually woke up a little bit later today than usual, so yeah, I have been waking up at 6 a.m. but I woke up today about, well, I put my alarm on by 6:30, but I only actually woke up by about 6:50. So the reason for that was because I actually went to sleep a little bit later because I was out last night. I was doing this networking event, which is actually pretty cool. You know, it was at this prestigious law firm in the city and everything. Prestigious, like it was a big law firm. It was a big law firm. Anyway, so we were there. It was nice and everything. Although they kind of catfished us a little bit. They told us there was going to be this law firms, there was going to be heaps of lawyers from there. There was literally 0 lawyers from there. It was just the club that I was in, just the committee members that I was at. That's in the club. So it's like we really could have just done it at university. They didn't need to catfish us and be like, we're doing it at this law firm, because none of the lawyers were there. But it's okay. I mean, it's a nice space still. They had all this food and everything, so it was nice. But yeah, it was pretty crazy because I didn't really know too many people there. I knew a few, but like I reckon there was maybe 40 to 50 people there, and I probably knew 5 or less. So pretty much everyone there to me was a stranger. Like I didn't really know them at all. But it was actually good because I think I mentioned it before. I've got another job which I do. This isn't a job, by the way. This is a club, so you know you don't get paid or anything. But yeah, this isn't a job. It's just a club. But anyway, for a job I do where I do get paid, I make these tutorials and everything. And basically like for a unit, for like a subject, and people watch them and stuff. And so like, yeah, like students that take the subject that semester watch them. And like obviously like there's like 500 people that do the subject, so it's like it's not like I know everyone. I know like quite a few people that do the subject in real life. And there was a few people yesterday that did do that subject last year and were telling me about how they watched me and everything. And so that was actually really cool. And it was good, especially because it did happen at the start where I didn't know anyone, you know. And so it's a good like conversation starter / icebreaker to start talking to people. Like, yeah, they were like, well, there was 2 people in particular, and one guy at the start, he was like, oh, are you tutoring the same subject again? And I was like, oh, like, you know, it's so crazy that you watch that, you know. And then there was a girl shortly after that, and she was like, oh, I watched your videos last year. And it's like, yeah, no, so nice. So yeah, no, that's really good, definitely. That's the kind of like really fulfilling part of being a tutor, I would say. Like seeing like people that have like watched your hard work and actually gained something out of it. Well, they didn't tell me that they gained anything out of it. They weren't like your videos are amazing or anything, but they watched them. So it's like I know someone's watching them at least. So you know, it's good in that sense, at the very least. But no, that was really like fulfilling, you know, that part of the night. So that was just at the start. Otherwise, we kind of just got talked to a lot, to be honest. There was a lot of like information overload type of thing. Because really what we're doing for this club this year is we're just like editing articles. That's kind of the nature of it. But it's quite like, it's meant to be like one of the more prestigious type of clubs because it's like difficult to get into. You got to apply and everything, and they don't take on many people. So that's kind of like the good part about it. That's what it's meant to be, at least. And so like when you're applying for jobs and stuff, you can put it on your resume, and all these places will be like, wow, like you were part of this club, like that's pretty good. And so like the idea is obviously, you know, it'll put you ahead in terms of the job hunt and everything. So I mean, whether that happens, who knows. But it's actually not that bad. Like it sounds boring at first, like no doubt, just editing articles all day. But you only have to do it 3 times per year. And like you would think, hey, it's going to be a lot during the university semester, because each edit takes, I was speaking to one of the guys I said yesterday, and he was saying his first one took like 25-30 hours, but you get quicker after that for the last 2 you do for the year. Because again, yeah, you only do 3 in total. But yeah, like you take a long while at the first one because you just got to get used to it, but after that you get a lot quicker. And so I don't think it's too bad, especially because the first one we've already got, and we've got it before the university semester. So we can get it done before the university semester. So we're not like having to study and do it. Yeah, so anyway, so that was yesterday though. So it was good, you know, in the city. And yeah, no, it's good. Being at that nice law firm and everything, it's a nice environment. Personally, I don't know if I would want to work there full time for the rest of my life, but for a year or two, or maybe 3 or 4, like, yeah, you know, because it's a really nice space. Like, these law firms make probably $500 million plus a year, you know, so obviously they can, yeah, spend on having a very luxurious space. All these big firms, offices and everything. So yeah, that was last night. Yesterday, actually, during the day, so I've had this guy who's reached out to me over the previous weeks, and on LinkedIn this is, and he's been telling me, he's like, I've got an opportunity for you if you're interested. And he's like, I work with companies, like big companies, like a Telstra, stuff like that, telecommunication companies, it seems like. And he's like, he's saying he's got an opportunity for me, and he's like, are you interested in this? And I'm like, well, this sounds intriguing. Like, I don't really know what it is, but it sounds somewhat intriguing. So I would say I am. So yeah, anyway, I would say I am intrigued. And anyway, we hopped on a call yesterday for about 20 minutes. And he was telling me about these connections he's got to like this couple. And he was saying, he was asking me questions and he was taking notes. Like, I kept hearing him typing as I was speaking. He was like, what do you do with your day? And I was like, oh, like I go to the gym and stuff. He was like, do you have any other hobbies? And I was like, read books, like non-fiction-y type books. And I think he liked that, because again, I think he's one of those guys. It seemed a little bit like a pyramid scheme type of thing, but I'm not exactly sure it was. I think it seemed like he was just like, yeah, trying to recruit people for some startup or something like that he's got. And he was just like, he's basically just like, he asked me 5 different versions of, do you want to be financially free? He basically asked me 5 different variations of that exact question, you know? And I was just like, yeah, it would be nice, you know, like that's what everyone would love at the end of the day. If you would ask people, do they want to be in debt for the rest of their life, or do they want to be financially free? You'll get 1,000 out of 1,000 responses of, yeah, I want to be financially free. But yeah, it's not always possible, you know? But he's basically telling me, you know, I've got an opportunity for you to make you financially free. So, I mean, I was listening, but he was just like being really vague and ambiguous. And so I was like, look. And then he's like at the end, look, to tell you more, because I know you want to know more, but if you do, you got to do a video call to build more rapport. And I was like, I'll think about it. And I am thinking about it. But like, realistically, does this guy have the secret to my financial freedom? 99.9% chance, no. But it's interesting. Will I do the video calls? I might. I'll think about it. Yeah, I mean, I said I'll get back to him, which I will. I might not do it though. I might not. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm pretty much at work right now, so I'll talk to you guys on my lunch break. You know what I reckon the hardest part of a 9-to-5 job is? I reckon it's probably, besides maybe actually doing the job and being there for the 8 hours, I reckon just like the hours that come afterwards, you know, like the 3 or 4 hours after you finish, you get home, there's just like such an impulse to just go and spend money, you know, because you're like, oh, I'm so tired, like I just want to go and relax. And you know, to relax, it's easy to do something like go and order Uber Eats, or I don't know, whatever else you can spend money on. Go and buy something on Amazon or something, just like an impulse thing, because like your impulses at that point are just so high, because you're just like so drained, you know, like you're not in your usual self. You're not yourself that's usually got a little bit more discipline and is like, oh no, you know, I can make food at home right now. So, and yeah, it's like paradoxical, because it's like Uber Eats is not cheap, you know. Like making food at home, you can make a meal at home easily for under $10, probably like $5 really. You can make a meal at home, well, less than that even, you know. Like you can have meals on average for like $2 or $3 at home. and still be a good amount. Again, just like you have a packet of meat or something, you eat half a packet today, half a packet tomorrow, then you get like a quarter a packet of, well, like a few slices of bread or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. So anyway, like those average out to be like $2 to $3 per meal, compared to you go and order Uber Eats. You know, you go and order a burger and chips from like a restaurant and on Uber Eats, and like the meal already is $20. Then you got like the service fee, the handling fee, whatever, and it ends up being like the meal itself plus all the other expenses added in, and it's like $35, and that's already like over an hour's worth of your labor today, which you're just spending. And again, it's not bad to spend, because you don't want to demonize the act of spending, because spending is necessary for life, obviously, and you're always going to have expenses which you need to pay, like rent, whatnot, fuel, everything. But yeah, it's just like crazy. You know, you don't want to just be impulse spending all the time. You know, you need to be more disciplined. And again, it's easiest at that point in time when your impulses are at the highest and your discipline is probably at its lowest. So for me, luckily, again, I live at home, so my parents still make dinner and everything for me most nights. Some nights I make it myself. So I'm lucky in that respect, where it's like I come home and they've already got like food ready, or they can make food for me, you know. So yeah, good in that respect. I'm not like, oh, it's just another thing I've got to do now, make food, you know, like, yeah, like they do. Well, my mum specifically say, because yeah, my dad's usually still at work, obviously. So yeah, but I think, yeah, once, say I'd move out and everything, which I'm still probably not going to do for a little while at the very least, but once I do that, like, yeah, unless I meal prep everything at the start of the week, which, I mean, that would be good, I guess, but I've never really meal prepped before, so I guess, yeah, it'll be a new experience for me. But if I do that, then yeah, it would help once I come home from work or whatever, and it's just like I've just got meals ready to go. I just got to warm it up or whatever, compared to I've got to spend another, you know, 20-30 minutes going and making food. It's just a bit unbearable, you know, after an 8-hour work day. And so it makes sense, obviously, why people do go and order something like Uber Eats after work. So yeah. And, you know, again, also around that time when I get home, that's why I try not to leave my workouts that time, because it's just like impulse control. You know, like working out after work, like my impulses for doing nothing are so high at that point in time. You know, I've got no desire to do hard work after I come back from an 8-hour shift or anything. So yeah, that's for me why I've just got to do it in the morning before. Anyway, got to get back to my job right now to fulfill the rest of the 3 hours or whatever it is remaining, and then I will see you guys on the walk home. Just finished up for the day, finished up for the week, given it's a Friday, sorry, I've got the hiccups, had them all day for some reason, but anyway, hopefully they dissipate soon, but it is what it is. Oh, stock market, net worth update. So I think my net worth update overall today, plus $275, which is good. So only about 50 from the stock market, which it was looking like being a lot more earlier in the day. It was looking like being about 150, not just 50. But hey, you know, that's life. Not everything happens like you would want it to. So you just got to deal with it and live with it and be alright with it. So hey, we're just living it up. You can see me. I got that post-work glow, as per usual. You already know. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting home. I'm gonna eat. I usually find when I get home from work, I'm so hungry. But it's like, it's already 5 p.m. So I can't just eat like a big meal, because then when I have dinner like 2-3 hours later, I'm not gonna be that hungry. So I'm gonna experiment today with having pretty much my full dinner right now when I get home, and see if that suits me better, to just eat a full meal right now. And then that's probably all I eat for tonight. But we'll see. Maybe it is just I've got to eat a small thing when I come back home at 5, and then yeah, eat a big dinner at 7 or 8 o'clock, whatever it is. So that's what we're gonna go with. So remember how I was talking about earlier about, you know, impulses, and especially after work, you know, you've been at work for 8 hours, you're just like, oh, I just want to relax, you know, like I just don't really care. I don't really care about saving money, about like goals to like be stricter with yourself, save up more for anything. You're just like, I want to relax, you know, order Uber Eats or order whatever, buy stuff, you know, just do all that stuff. Like that's like that period where I'm at right now, obviously, just finishing up. Obviously, again, like I did mention earlier as well, I am in a bit of a fortunate situation given I live at home and my mum makes my food and everything. So I did ask for her, I did put in a request, I put in an order if she could make it in the morning. No, not make it in the morning, make it just around 5 o'clock, so it's about ready by the time I get home, which is obviously really lucky for me for the situation I'm in. But obviously most people don't have that, especially say when I move out and everything. I'm living by myself or whatever. I'm not gonna have food cooked for me like that unless I meal prep it myself. So yeah, in that situation especially, it'll be a lot more difficult because I'm gonna be like, I just worked 8 hours, you know, I don't want to go and spend another 20 minutes or 30 minutes doing work, being cooking food or whatever. You know, I just want to eat. And so it would be so easy to just go and drop like $40 on Uber Eats or whatever. But again, it's like that's over an hour of your life you just sold, you know, for food. Which, I don't know, is it worth it? Maybe. Depends, I guess, on how much you value it. I guess at the time you would value it a lot, that food. But, you know, you wake up the next morning and you're like, shouldn't have spent that $40, you know? And you're like, fudge, you know, shouldn't have spent that 40. So you can hear the hiccups. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I remember I heard this thing once and it was like, because probably most people know you can lose the hiccups if you get like scared or whatever. I've actually never had that happen to me before, I reckon as well. But anyway, it's like a common thing people know. But I remember I saw like a video or something, and it was like, if you just like really think consciously about it, you like expect the next hiccup, you know, it actually won't come. So I was trying that earlier today, like just being like, okay, hiccup. But it still comes. But I've tried that in the past, and you know, and other times when I've had hiccups, and it actually does work. If you just like put all your thought and energy into thinking, okay, get ready for the next hiccup, it will just stop, crazy enough. But today it hasn't worked for me, even though I've been trying it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it only works sometime. Maybe it's a part-time solution. It's a part-time solution. Unlike me, a full-time employee, you know. Just kidding, I'm also part-time. Still 9 to 5 though. This is loud. That was loud. I think it's like a leaf blower or something. But anyway. I know the football started back today. Some practice matches. So you may want to watch some of those back for Supercoach, the game that I play related to it. Good for seeing some positions people are in and everything. Honestly, doesn't really mean too much, so if we're being real. But maybe a little insight. So, you know, we'll see. I think I might have talked about this in my last video, or at least something relating to it. About how, you know, my generation especially, you know, people say aged under 25 especially, you know, just like don't want to work 9 to 5. You know, they'd much rather start up a social media account, like an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube, and just have people watch them and just do that for a living. You know, the influencer type of thing, which is, yeah, very rampant. You know, more accounts starting than ever and everything. And obviously I'm one of them. I'm partaking in it. It's not like I can look down at them, be like, what are you guys doing? This is embarrassing. I'm literally a part of it. I'm literally contributing to it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I wouldn't do that stuff anyway, because that's just rude, being rude about other people. But yeah, that's not me. But yeah, regardless, I am part of it, like I said. like I said. So yeah, but no, it's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people want to do that, and I think probably we do see our generation do, like my generation, say our generation. You're probably again my age, similar to my age, whatever. If you're watching, 21, I am, by the way. We mainly see my generation doing it the most because, like, it wasn't around in the past. Social media, it's a new phenomenon. Till about 20 years ago, like 2005, whatever. Before that, there was really no social media. So of course, no one that was born in 1980 grew up wanting to be an influencer. It didn't exist, the job. So now it does, obviously. So now that we've all grown up, watching our favorite YouTube or whatever for the last 10 years, 5 years, even just a year, YouTubers over time, or whatever content creators over time, we're like, hey, like I would want to do a job like that. So of course, we're going to lean more into that influencer sphere rather than trying to do a stereotypical 9 to 5 type of job. So it makes sense. I think there's also probably a little bit of a lack of work ethic stemming from myself and my generation. I'd say just like not wanting to do the 9 to 5 slug every day. Not being tough enough mentally per se. Just overall, obviously, between everyone, not individually, but overall in the generation, yeah. And yeah, I think I'm a culprit of that to a degree. Obviously, I am now working 9 to 5, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I only work 2 days a week, though. I know people my age that are working full time, 9 to 5, that are 21 or even 20, So it's like pretty crazy. I mean, even younger than that, obviously. But I know people that have got like a full degree and everything after doing a full high school graduate and everything. Then they went and got a full degree and everything. Spent like 3 degrees at university, and now they're like 20 and working full time. Obviously, not that uncommon. Like, it does happen, but it's quite young, to be entering the full time sphere. And so yeah, I'm 21 now, working part time. Obviously, I mean, in saying that, like, yeah, I work part time, but I also work 3 jobs in total. This job, my other group tutoring job, and then my other private tutoring job, individual job. So, I mean, I'm working 3 different jobs, to be fair to myself. But yeah, only part time at this main one, which is 2 8-hour days a week, so 16 hours in total. But yeah, anyway, I was just thinking about that. My generation. Am I the leader of the generation? Yes, I am. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for today. I'm pretty much home. I will see you guys on my next work day.